This hard mode feature has been out for a while, but there are still a lot of questions from people coming into the game about what are the differences in hard mode. Should I play in hard mode? Is hard mode any good? Well, I'm going to try to give a concise and comprehensive answer about all the hard mode differences, and what they mean, and what do I think about it all. I've read a ton of posts about hard mode, and many folks tout it as just being too tedious and adding nothing to the gameplay. Well, I've been playing hard mode and have a very different opinion. In fact, I kind of think hard mode should be the default mode in the game, with there being an option for dialing difficulty back and playing without the added challenge. But I'm going to go ahead and start giving you the rundown of the differences with the short commentary on what they mean to the gameplay and let you decide. First is fuel costs. In normal mode, fuel is free, but anytime you need fuel, you have to pay for it. This is even true when you pay the very expensive fee to fully repair your truck at the garage. It doesn't even top off your vehicle with fuel, and fuel costs really add up. I've been keeping a loose tally, and even before finishing the first 2 maps in Michigan, my total fuel bill would be about $20,000 minimum, or whatever currency you're familiar with. That's a lot, and it can take quite a few missions and payments to earn that kind of cash. There are ways to offset that by siphoning gas from the mission fuel trailers, as well as overcoming some of these other hard mode differences I'll talk about in a coming video, but purely on paper, that's the approximate cost. So fuel cost is still a fact to deal with in hard mode. Repair costs are the next one. Repairs are free in normal mode, but this one doesn't feel like the same hard hit as fuel. Generally speaking, I'm not tearing up my vehicles a lot, so it's $15 here, $30 there, maybe $50, and even though it can add up, I doubt you'll spend a ton on repairs. And just like fuel, you can be judicious and utilize a few maintenance trailers scattered about the map. But it is a resource you have to manage and does cost money eventually. So once again, you'll need to think about it strategically. If for no other reason, you almost never want to repair at your garage, like in normal mode. It costs too much in hard mode to repair at the garage. So planning and positioning maintenance trailers becomes a thing, and one that requires advanced planning. Recovery costs cost money too. If you're careful and don't overreach a vehicle's capability, you won't get into a position where you absolutely have to do recovery very often. But if you do, and it will happen, it costs money. And it is costly. $2,000 for a Scout, $5,000 for a heavy-duty truck, and $8,000 for the really big ones. So you can't just go headstrong figuring, there's no harm if you don't make it. The harm is real, so you need to think. Automatic loading costs money. You still have the option to automatically load, but it'll cost you to the tune of $150 per item. Like the fuel, that cost adds up quickly, and there's really no way to circumvent the loading aspect. So you're going to want to get good with one of those cranes in the game for manual loading. It's another thing to master in the game. Deployment costs money. Now, this is a weird one. Deployment is essentially using the retain feature in the garage to store your vehicle, then deploying it at some other garage, kind of like teleporting it automatically. I think it's good that this does cost money, but I don't think I've ever really deployed much even in normal mode. I just drive the vehicle to the next map, chaining them together if it makes sense. So even though this one is also a money sink, it doesn't feel very painful. I mean, it's a driving game. If you don't like driving from point A to B, then I don't know. The next one is that you can't sell discovered trailers, not even for half price. In both normal and hard mode, you can't sell trailers associated with missions. but there are plenty just lying around with some goods on them and some without, and you can sell those in normal mode for extra cash, but you can't in hard mode. So you're probably starting to see a trend here. Most of the hard mode differences are adding costs to doing things and therefore adding more of an economic strategy to the game. You have to be really careful about not just blowing all your money on great tires and autonomous winches for every vehicle. You have to decide where to put your cash, remove things from one vehicle to use on another, and generally watch your money, which is still true for the next difference. Vehicles and upgrades sell for half of their purchase price. This again adds to that strategy. You can't just slap on and off tires at will through buying and selling. And if you purchase a truck, you better really be shopping carefully and not be too impatient. One of those trucks that you've had your eye on in the garage store might be coming up soon on one of the maps where you can get it for free. So this makes you have to really stretch a given vehicle for as long as it can possibly get the job done, and maybe a bit beyond, because even DLC vehicles are not free. In normal mode, these DLC vehicles are available in your garage's vehicle storage. Not true in hard mode. You can still get your most beloved DLC vehicle, so at least it's obtainable, but it will cost you cash. Furthermore, in normal mode, you can sell those DLC trucks, made available for free for even more cash. Your wallet or purse can absolutely be busting in normal mode, but in hard mode, times are hard. But now we leave some of the features that are purely a monetary thing and move on to some of the other gameplay differences. Objective markers are not precise. In normal mode, that place where you have to pick up a dropped crate of goods, fish a trailer out of a swamp, and that sort of thing, is always pinpointed with an arrow. Instead, in hard mode, you're given a circle on the map, and somewhere in that circle is the thing you're looking for. But if you examine and look at the map very carefully, assuming you've fully opened the area as visible with a watchtower or in person, you can see the little crates or other objects on the map. It sometimes takes a bit, kind of like looking for Waldo, but they're there. So a little research time on the map will go a long way. The next one is sort of a cache thing, but it's also an experience and skill point thing. The timed contests available on the various maps can only be done a limited number of times. I've heard some people say 3 times, but so far all mine have given me 5 tries. To make it harder, if you completely fail a mission by flipping over or something, that's 1 down from your available total. Painful, but understandable. Another non-economic constraint is that you can't skip time. In normal mode, if it gets dark and you want to see better, ambiance notwithstanding, you just skip time and move forward in about 6-hour increments. In hard mode, when it gets dark, it's just dark, and there's nothing you can do about it, except wait for morning, or use your nighttime for planning. At least that's what I do. Planning an efficient route for linking up 2 or 3 missions, or looking for which warehouse sells an item you need to deliver, browsing through the missions to see what all is still there, or moving trucks through simpler parts of the map to reposition them for the next move. All those things are important and a good use of time. True, I have found myself still waiting some for daybreak, but I like the realism of the day-night cycle, so it's something I can live with. This last one isn't something that is taken away to make it harder. It's actually something given to you that I really like. Service parts can be bought. In hard mode, when you have a service or maintenance trailer or an add-on to a truck, you can refill those service parts at designated areas on the map. They're maybe a little more scarce than fuel, but they are there. And I get a lot of satisfaction out of keeping my vehicles repaired out of my own trucks. Yes, it costs money to refill them, but like I said before, repairs are generally not a huge part of your expenditure. so it's fine and makes for good gameplay. So what do I think about hard mode? You've probably guessed by now, I love it. I haven't been through some of the more treacherous maps, but having played in normal mode, then going back and playing the same map in hard mode, I like the added challenge of hard mode. It made me have to be so much more careful about every move, and added a lot more thinking and strategy to the game, beyond the obvious driving bit. The game also has a New Game Plus option, which allows you to opt in or out of a given game feature to scale the difficulty and your preferred gameplay experience, which is a nice option even beyond the pre-established hard mode parameters. So after all that, what do you think about hard mode? Does it sound good? Have you played it? Do you hate it? Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll be talking to you later.